Good evening. It's 6 o'clock. This is Tuesday, January 13th, 2026. Our regular scheduled council meeting here at City Hall. We do have a quorum, so I will call us to order tonight. Our invocation tonight will be given by Reverend Roland Thoreau. He's the pastor of Sweet Union Baptist Church, followed by our pledges. So if you'll stand with me, Reverend, bless us.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Dear Heavenly Father, as we seek you in prayer this evening, we ask that you will preside over this meeting and govern the minds and hearts of our mayor and city council members. Give them wisdom, give them discernment, and give them clarity as they seek to make decisions together that will benefit our community, from the youngest to us to the oldest of us. In closing, as I'm sure there will be a variety of topics that will be discussed this evening, help our mayor and city council members be attentive to everything that will be put before them and said to them from our community. And as there will be differences of opinion due to the multiplicity of topics that will be discussed this evening, may our mayor and city council members collectively as a whole be a united front at the end of this meeting. In the name of Jesus we do pray. Amen.
Amen.
Bless you.
Please join us in our pledges, first to the American flag. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The Texas flag.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you. Our first item will be some special presentations. The first one will be acknowledgement of two ladies that have spent years of service on Keep Jacksonville Beautiful board. And Amanda, are you going to present that? Yeah, if you'll come forward and do that, that'd be great. And it looks like those two ladies are here in the audience. That's great. You do that however how you would like to.
Public speaking is my private nightmare. But no, we have two very special ladies here that we'd like to recognize. I'm the Amanda Childress, and I'm the chair of Keep Jacksonville Beautiful. And we have Glenda Corley and Judy Angle are here tonight. They have served as, on our board for almost 10 years. So we just wanted to take a moment to recognize them. Would y'all like to come up?
Great.
Judy likes it. Good, that makes two of us. So we just wanted to present y'all with this as a token, small token of our thank you. Beautiful token. Yeah. Love you so much. Love you too. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies. We appreciate your service. We certainly do. Oh, good. You'll be missed. You'll be missed.
You know, all those signs hanging out and everything.
Are they leaving us, or we're just honoring them?
We're just honoring them.
Okay, good. No, y'all can't step away.
Yeah. Our next item is a JEDCO presentation of Business of the Month. Mr. Shane?
Thank you, Mayor, council members.
Yes.
This month we are going to be honoring Jill Swink. I'd like to invite her to come up here. We'll get say a few words and then get our photos. I had a chance to speak with Jill in advance of this meeting, and her husband Mac, and you know, her story is fantastic. The way she came, she grew up at the Stand Studio, and coming back and kind of taking it over after I guess I would call her your mentor.
Yes.
Passed, and then carrying on that tradition. And you know, I was thinking about it on the way up here today. It takes a lot of trust, generation after generation, for people to continue sending their kids to a studio like yours. So I just want to thank you for investing in the kids, the girls, the little boys, and just in this community for 45 years. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Very
Thank you to JEDCO. My dad has passed, but he was very involved in the Jacksonville Industrial Foundation throughout the years. And my mother was telling a story the other day about, I believe the gentleman's name was Bob Eidelman, and he would gather up local businessmen and they would head off on the weekends. He'd take them to the edge of town and they'd stop and say a prayer for safe return. And they would go out and seek and find industry and businesses to bring back to Jacksonville. A lot of the plastic industries arrived during that time. I think Path Products, the tower company, and possibly American Data Systems. But I'm aware of what JEDCO and Industrial Foundation work is, and we are grateful for y'all. Mac and I are born and raised in Jacksonville, went away to school, came back as fast as we could to raise our 3 sons. And I'm just grateful to JEDCO for continuing to sustain, energize, and grow our community. Thank y'all so much. Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right, JEDCO presentation of the Jacksonville ISD CTE Student of the Month. Ms. Sherry.
Thank you very much, Council. I want to call Dalen Horace up and his teacher, Mrs. Jones. And I want to say a few words. The name may sound familiar. Dalen Horace is the CTE Student of the Month. We call it Student Spotlight. Dalen has I don't even know how to call it, a sheet as long as a scroll rolling out of all of his accomplishments and all of his volunteer work. And I wrote a few things down so I could at least tell you a few things he's involved in. Dalen's involved with band, a student ambassador for 2 years. He's in the National Honor Society. He's a student athlete. He's on the student council. He's involved in the audio video production team. He's in the multicultural club. He's a Key Club member, has been. He's attended the Rotary Youth Leadership camp, and he's been in the Boys State. He's helped with Neighbors Helping Neighbors, an event that his mom coordinated. He's organized a coat drive. He's volunteered picking up trash. He's worked with the carnival, the retirement home. The list goes on and on and on. This is a phenomenal young man. And if you don't know the name already, you're going to know it. This young man is going places, and I'm very excited to present him with this. And I wanted Ms. Jones to say a few words about why she nominated him.
Well, I'm a CTE business teacher at Jacksonville High School, and I've taught Dalen for about 3 years now. And the reason why I nominated him, he's just an outstanding student. She said a lot already, but he's different in a good way. He is always on top of his grades. He wants a polished resume. He's just always talking about how he can, you can tell he's thinking about his future. And I don't see that a lot. I've taught 26 years, and he is one of the best of the best. I can stand here and just talk all night. He is cordial. There's not a day he leaves my class without finding me and saying, Ms. Jones, have a good one. Every class period. And that makes me feel good because everybody shoots out to me, have a good one, Ms. Jones. So I can go on and on. Just found out that's his mom, his dad at a game, track meet. He runs track. He's just an all-around just superstar, and I know he has a bright future.
Yes. Congratulations. They would like mom in the picture.
See? Mindy literally just said she needs me to picture. She and I are usually hiding back here because we're photobombing everybody.
Well, I would be remiss if I didn't at least say something while I was coming down. Delano and I are extremely proud of Dalen. We're proud of both of our sons, Dalen and Devin. And, we have tried to instill in them that it's important to not just do well, but to be well, but to be a good person in life. And so we are proud that both of them are doing their best at that. And we tell them all the time, we tell both of them all the time that we look forward to seeing what God does in their lives. So we continue to be proud of you, son. I would plant a big kiss on his cheek, but he probably went out of screaming.
That's great. Thank you so much. I love that program. I don't know who came up with this. I think Sherry did. The CTE Student of the Month. It's great.
That's awesome.
Our next item on our agenda is citizens' participation. This is where we set aside some time to hear concerns from our citizenry. It's not it cannot be by law a dialogue with our council, but we want to know and listen to what's on your mind. We try to ask to limit your comments to 3 minutes. We have 2 tonight, and I'll just take them in the order that I've received them. Our first is Zebediah Franklin. if you'll come to the podium and state your name, your address, and then hold your comments to 3 minutes, please, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
It should be less than 3 minutes.
That's okay.
I am Zebediah Franklin.
Yes, sir.
You said my address. I have several. I own a real estate investing company.
Okay.
So-
Holloway Avenue.
Yeah.
That's
So it's 1014 Holloway Avenue.
perfect.
But I own 2 properties on Churchill.
Okay.
I grew up here, and unlike Dalen, I kind of caused a little trouble when I was younger. So I'm trying to be more and more like Dalen every day. But
You'll get there. You'll get there.
yeah, I own a real estate investing company, and I purchased some property here. I spent 7 years in the Army. I'm a 2-time combat veteran. I don't live here now. I live in Houston. But again, I want to invest in my community. I've been all around the world, as you can imagine, as somebody in the Army. Africa, Germany, Holland, and this area is the most beautiful place I've been. So after finding all of that out, I want to come back and invest here. I also own a facilities management company in Houston that I'm working on. I'm working to get back here to reinvest some of that money here. But after spending time here remodeling houses and things like that, once you spend time in the neighborhood, like a lot of people in my neighborhood where I grew up, they don't have the time to spend every day. Everybody's out working, well, they should be. So I spend a lot of time remodeling houses and spending time out there. And I can tell you in the morning the issues that I'm seeing for my street, particular Churchill Street. There's a lot of speeding cars, and it's terrible. In the morning time, there's a bus stop right outside the house I just purchased, which is 1202 Churchill Street. There's a bus stop there, and it doesn't matter if kids are out there. People are driving crazy up and down that lane. And it's maybe because it's between Highway 69 and Troop Highway, and it's like a shortcut. But in the morning time, evening time, people are just flying. I have tenants there. I want to protect my investments, which are my tenants. If they're not safe, they don't want to stay there. And that's about all I have. Thank you guys for, I understand that you cannot put speed bumps in that area. I was just wondering bring it to your attention and wonder if you can do something about it. Maybe we can put lines down, something. If something can happen, that would be great. But thank you for your time.
You bet.
Thank you for your
Thank you.
service.
Thank you. You bet. Our next participant is Raymond Franklin. Mr. Raymond? Come tell us what's on your mind for 3 minutes.
How y'all doing?
Doing
Good.
great.
Of course, everybody know who I am. I'm Raymond Franklin. I'm the P&Z commissioner of District 1.
Right.
Of course, that's my cousin back there. He grew up in District 1. His name is Zebediah. But I do want to tell y'all, as a city, as the council, thank y'all for everything that y'all doing. Y'all getting it in, we getting it in, and we doing the best we can. The EMS guys, to the fire station, the fire department, police guys, Stephen and the crew, they're doing a great job that I know of. You get what I'm saying? So I just want to say thank y'all. I usually get up here and say thank y'all all the time, but it's been a couple of years since I did that. So since I got a phone call and said I may be reappointed as a P&Z commissioner again, in consideration, I think that. Thank y'all for that. But with that being said, on Churchill Street, I got a phone call about 3:30, 4 o'clock-ish, and Kimberly Rogers called me. She says, thank y'all for all the help that y'all done, the little bit, a lot, whatever. She just wanted, on behalf of the Evelyn Whitaker's, who y'all helped out. I guess that was her mom, but Ann, Beverly, Jackie, all the sisters, Fred, everybody is saying thank you for the help that y'all did over there on Churchill Street. I don't know the address, but of course, I just want to speak on behalf of her. I'm sure that other sisters and brothers saying thank you too. But it's that little bitty stuff that y'all are doing, we can do a lot more. But the things is just gonna take a little bit, a drop at a time, a drop at a time. And once the sink get full, you can look at it. Kind of say you can see it half full, or you can see, hey, it's halfway, we almost there. But we gotta keep working, and if y'all reappoint me, which I'm sure I will be, but I'm gonna keep doing my best too. So I just wanted to let y'all know I'm boots on the ground. Y'all, I'm everywhere whenever they call me. I'm needing. I talked to Zebediah and a few other guys a couple of Sundays ago. Everybody got some kind of issue. We're not going to be able to address everything, but the little things that we can get to, it'll lead to bigger things. I just want to say thank y'all and keep up the good work.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. So that's all I had. Was there anyone else that wanted to speak that didn't fill out a card? Seeing none, we will go to item number 7 is our consent agenda. Items under consent agenda require little or no deliberation by the council. We have one tonight, and it's approval of some minutes. So I will entertain a motion on that item.
Mayor, I make a motion that we approve the consent agenda as presented.
We have a motion by Councilwoman Latitia Horace,
Second.
second by Councilwoman Mindy Gallup. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries. Item number 8 is any action out of executive session if necessary, which will actually be item number 9. So we will go to item number 9 to discuss and act upon reappointment of Judge Paul Mascott as municipal court judge. So there he's got his bio on the screen. We visited with him during executive session, so I will entertain a motion.
Mayor, I'll make a motion that we reappoint Judge Paul Mascott to the municipal court judge.
We have a motion by Mayor Pro Tem Tim McRae to reappoint Paul.
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Latitia Horace. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries. Item number 10 is to discuss and act upon board appointments and reappointments to various boards, commissions, and committees.
Yes, Mayor,
See that
City
up
Council,
front?
I do have it on the screen. It's 2 pages. It's relatively small, so you also have it printed in front of you, but this can get a little clunky. We'll determine the best way to do it based on your discussions and how we go about voting and making motions. But we did review this Thursday.
Right.
The blue, remind you, the blue bars on this table are those up for reappointment, and the yellows are vacancies, meaning nobody's currently serving in their role there.
Okay.
Are we taking them one board at a time, or how do
I
you?
think we can do them all at
recommend?
once if we just want to maybe progress from the museum board down through, and then if there needs to be discussion or maybe a separate vote, we can do that as well.
Okay. Well, I did talk with Charlie Maesco, who's on the museum board, and of course Raymond Franklin, who's on P&Z, and they both acknowledge that they'd like to continue their service.
Okay. Okay.
I do know that Miss Batten and Mr. McDonald, McDonald would like to stay on the board as well.
Okay. So that rounds out the museum board. The next board is Parks and Rec. Looks like Jeff Pelletier.
Pelletier.
He wants to.
I know he wants to
Yep.
get reappointed. I don't know about Shanna. I guess we haven't heard that she does not want to, right?
No, we have
Okay.
not.
Okay. Keep Jacksonville Beautiful, Amanda Childers. She has told me she would like to be reappointed.
Perfect.
I have not heard from Pam Duke. Does anybody?
I think she's good.
She's good. We have 3 vacancies. Amanda Childers suggested.
4.
Oh, 4, that's right, 4. Amanda Childers suggested to me Trina Travis would like to serve on that with them. She's either Paul or Todd's wife. I don't know which one. Paul?
Would she be the city council nominee or one of the district nominees? Do we know?
No, I guess.
Well, I'd be glad to pick her up for my district.
Okay.
District 3, and I think she actually lives in District 3.
District 3, okay. So we'll put Trina Travis in District 3. And then Amanda also suggested Sherry Lee. you would like to serve on the Keep Jacksonville Beautiful board. Brett, these do not have to live in the city limits, is that correct? Or do they? Do we know? Cause I don't, she lives at the
Because
lake.
Sherry lives in county, but
In
not
county.
city, yeah.
I don't know.
I don't believe that there's a.
I don't believe
I
so.
don't think there is either. Okay. So assuming that you don't have to,
Right.
then we'd like to put her in, would somebody like to, either District 1 or 4, or we can do her as a council. Why don't we put her in the council, that'd be all right, yeah, okay, Sherry Lee.
So she's not in South City. then.
I'm in discussion with somebody for District 2, but it hasn't been finalized yet.
Okay.
So I don't know if you want me to, how we do that, so.
Okay,
And
Is now
I'll
the only
reach out.
time?
I'll reach out to Wes or Chad Dyer to see if they'd be.
okay.
Is now our only opportunity to put forward nominees?
We can put it on a future agenda. In a perfect world, it's nice to do it in January, but most of these boards don't meet on a monthly basis anyway, so we can bring it back forward in February if we need some more time.
To fill in the gaps. Yeah.
Are we allowed to ask questions right there?
Not at this time.
Well, Teddy, I think you have one that's, yours is still active.
On the KJB board?
Yeah.
Uh-huh, yeah.
Yeah.
Becca is still, yeah, she's good through 28.
So I guess we have Trina and Sherry
Yeah.
for now, and we'll come back to those other ones. P and Z, we got Mr. Raymond Franklin, he's up for, and he said he would serve, I know Brenda State. I'm not sure about Becky's, anybody know about them? They haven't said no, and they've done a good job.
I know they've all been coming to the meetings.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
That's-
Then they get
They
reported.
should have been here tonight, yeah.
That's the first
Everybody's not here
indication.
gets
There you go.
appointed.
Municipal judge, we just took care of him, so. Board of Adjustments, Bobby Harris and Steve Berry, I know they come to the meetings.
Every single one.
Yeah, so I'm sure they would be willing to re-ante up. Our Lake Advisory, Steve Hazelwood, James, I think you talked to him, he's good
Yes.
for that, and Robert Sadler, he told me he was good for that. We have one vacancy on the Lake Advisory Board. Did you have,
Yeah, Brent Stalin,
okay,
and he wants to do it, so I mean, I'm assuming,
uh,
I haven't, well,
yeah.
I talked to him recently and he still wanted to, so, yes.
Okay. Is that good with everybody? Brent Stalin there? He lives at the lake. has for a year.
He's in my district, so.
Okay.
He'll be a good one.
Yeah, I think he will.
Yeah.
And on the library board, Sonia Baker, Linda Taylor, I think they're fairly active in there. So we have 2 vacancies there, if someone has the names there.
I don't, but if we can revisit that in February, that
Okay.
would be great.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay. So I guess,
James, on the Board of Adjustments, is Jason Wofford up for reappointment? I see he was appointed the same day as.
Yeah, you know, it does look that way, Brett. Thank you for catching that. He's an alternate.
Yes.
oh, yeah. Okay. Okay. So I guess we would entertain a motion to reappoint those in the blue and then add Trina and Sherry, Trina Travis and Sherry Lee in the KJB and Brett Stalin in the Lake Advisory.
And would you like to add Jason Wofford in the
Yes,
Board of
Thank you.
Adjustments?
yes, Jason Wofford in the Board of
And
Adjustments.
Trina was District 3, forgive me. Sherry, where were we placing her on
City
KJ?
Council.
Okay, thank you.
City Council, yeah. Which will still leave us, what, 2 on the KJB board and 2 in the library board. that Maybe we can complete next month. Okay? So, I guess since I enunciated that, I'll make that as a motion.
Second.
Appreciate it.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman
Whatever
Rocco.
he
Any
said,
discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries. Good. Item number 11 is to discuss and act upon an ordinance amending the code of ordinance of the city of Jacksonville by adding a new and unlisted land use tobacco vape smoke stores. defining the use, classifying the land use, and adopting use regulations. Mr. James.
Yes, Mayor, City Council, we did discuss this in depth on Thursday. Staff has taken the direction we received at that workshop, and we have a little bit of a different model to roll out to you this evening. I think you'll be pleased. I think it's very much aligned with the intent of both the Planning and Zoning Commission's recommendation as well as your feedback on Thursday afternoon. But we'll start with just a little bit of background. The city is looking to break out tobacco, vape, and smoke stores as their own land use. This is very closely related to zoning. And anytime we want to add a land use to the Code of Ordinances, there's a three-step process by which the recommended land use goes before the Planning and Zoning Commission, and then they determine where they think that land use should be able to exist, if you will, or operate from in terms of the zoning districts, and we'll talk about that more here in a moment. And then ultimately, and this is kind of where we're at tonight, their recommendation is forwarded on to the City Council for potential action. And so this matter was noticed in the Jacksonville Progress and was discussed and presented amongst the Planning and Zoning Commission at their December 16th meeting. You'll see that all 5 members were present, and all 5 members voted in support of additional regulations and this new land use. So here's what the ordinance itself says. There's 3 sections, 2 of which appear on this slide, and then there's some additional regulations in section 3, which will be on the next slide. But the first thing it does is it defines what is a tobacco, vape, and smoke store. And I'll just go ahead and read that for everyone here tonight. It's a commercial establishment specializing in the retail sale of tobacco, cigarettes, cigars, vapes, paraphernalia, and associated items, including the small-scale blending of tobaccos. A grocery store, convenience store, or similar retail store that sells tobacco and vape products, paraphernalia, and associated items as an ancillary sale is not included in the definition. So we're not talking about all C stores here. We're talking about these specific retailers that say vape or smoke shop or tobacco barn or something along that line.
Okay.
I'll also say that while staff is being proactive in bringing this to the council's attention, this is far from cutting edge. There are dozens of municipalities throughout the state and thousands throughout the country that have taken additional enforcement action on specialty tobacco, resale, head shops, all the different acronyms you may have heard for these types of stores. And it's in the best interest of public health. In fact, the state passed Senate Bill 1316 this most recent session, and effective September 1st of 2025. All advertisement for e-cigarettes, which contains vapes and all different things, cannot be placed within 1,000 feet of a school or church. So the state's cracking down on these as well, and recognizing them as a public health threat, especially to children who may be lured by the flavors and the colors and all the different things that vapes and how they're marketed. So section 2, and this is where there's been a little bit of change since the presentation on Thursday. Staff is now addressed some of your concerns and your direction by essentially saying that these businesses can operate from the zoning categories of F, local retail, and G, commercial only. Whereas on Thursday when I presented some information, it would have been an F, but the way that our cumulative zoning ordinance works is that if you were to look at the land uses allowed in section G or district G commercial, it would say any use permitted in F as a permitted use, and then it would list some specific ones. And as you went further and further down, essentially when you got to M, it would say any use permitted in L, K, J, H, G, F, and then these uses. So that's how it works. So if you don't essentially limit them, it's going to work its way all the way down through those non-residential zoning districts. However, the way we've worded this ordinance for your consideration tonight, they would be allowed only in F and G. We'll take a moment to look at that. In a second. Lastly, here would be the locational requirements. They would be 300 feet from a public or private school property, city park, childcare or daycare center, hospital or place of worship, measured in direct line from property line to property line, and then 1,000 feet measured property line to property line from one another. And then item C there under the location requirements, again, restricts them to only the zone F and G commercial districts. I want to just let everybody know as a caution that, of course, churches come and go, even sometimes schools come and go, and certainly land can always be rezoned. So what we look at as a snapshot tonight is how this ordinance may impact businesses and locations. It's not ironclad. That's why we have a Planning and Zoning Commission and private enterprise. But here's an exhibit with the yellow circles indicating where we have 11 of these specialty vape or tobacco stores. You see them largely present on South Jackson, starting at about Walmart or the Canada Street intersection and working their way south to generally the Atwood Shopping Center, with a couple north, one on North Bolton and one up on North Jackson. The red circles there, while it's certainly not what's the term here?
All inclusive.
Yeah, thank you. Those are representing kind of well-established or prominent churches in town, along with school district properties and some city parks. Of course, as you work your way away from the commercial corridors into the neighborhoods, you don't really have much risk because the zoning wouldn't be there to support, nor would they want to be there based on traffic counts. But you'll note that we currently don't have any of these specialty stores on 79. They're all really on 69, with the exception of one being on North Bolton, immediately north of US 175. So it kind of is at that intersection there. Important to note also that this ordinance does not preclude the businesses that are currently here from maintaining operation or selling or changing hands. So if they're already here, they're essentially grandfathered is the term you would hear. The technical term would be existing non-conforming. If they were to go out of business for a period of 6 months, they would lose that entitlement, and essentially then the business would need to sell to a different type of operation. But you see there on South Jackson Street, and in some other areas, but really there on that south part of South Jackson, the overlapping yellow circles, that's indicating that you have multiple stores within 1,000 feet of one another, which is, less than 1/4 mile. Here's a look at how those distance requirements would play out downtown, just as a zoom in to kind of show you the parks coming into play, some of the churches that are downtown coming into play. The yellow circle at the upper hand side of the screen there is the Tobacco Barn distance. That sits in the parking lot of Brookshire Brothers, and then you see a large buffer there around the Tomato Bowl. So here's a look at how the zoning comes into play. So this is how the distance requirements would likely impact future certificates of occupancy, And now we take a look at how the zoning impact would be. So council, I know you have this in front of you. It may be a little easier to look at in front of you as opposed to the screen. But again, passage of this ordinance would restrict new vape tobacco specialty stores to only the F and G. F is very, very limited in terms of a zoning district and land mass throughout town. In fact, it's pretty hard to even find. There's some in the northwest part of town, and there's some in the southwest part of town, but very few and far between, and not really any F-zoned property flanking these highways. In large part, our highways are flanked by G commercial, and that's where these stores are. However, West 79 is largely flanked by industrial zoning classifications and some multifamily zoning. And far northern Jacksonville has a large prominence of industrial, wholesale, warehouse manufacturing. Again, those properties could come before you to request rezoning, but at the present time, as kind of a snapshot, we would limit the ability for these types of businesses for present zoning ordinance to move into kind of that Bell Boulevard and north area of North Jackson until you get up to frontage that's probably already developed with car dealerships and similar uses. We would have, if you will, the opportunity, or there would be some exposure on East 79 for additional stores. But what you'll note is that downtown is H, central business, mixed with along the railroad line there, K and light manufacturing, and those shops could not establish themselves within those zoning categories.
James, just from a matter of technicality, when we're talking 1,000 feet from each other and 300 feet from schools and that sort of thing, who goes out to measure that? Is that left to the applicant, or is that something that we as the city verify?
The city would certainly be verifying that, yeah, and it would be, that we wouldn't pay a surveyor or anything. We would generally use Google Earth or something. If we got to the nitty-gritty of a survey, that cost would have to be borne by the applicant. But generally speaking, satellite-based measuring methods are very, very accurate.
Very accurate, okay.
I do have a question, but do you need a motion before I ask a question on this particular?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Well, then I'll make a motion that we approve this ordinance changes and zoning as the staff has presented.
Okay, we have a motion by Mayor Pro Tem Tim McCray,
Second.
second by Councilwoman Latitia Horace. Now we can
Yeah,
discuss.
the question I have would be, it's always been a fairly simple process to kind of de-zone your property. So if we had a person in H that was selling property or leasing property to somebody who wanted to put in one of these vape smoke shops, and they would request to lessen their zone to G. That's always been a pretty simple process, but that still has, lowering that would still have to come before the council, correct?
Yes, sir.
And if we didn't want to do it, I mean, the precedence hasn't been established. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, all right. That was really the only question I had.
We did, as discussed on Thursday, there was discussion of further regulating based on expanding those distances, the 300 and the 1,000. After some more extensive research, I was only able to find one town that didn't use the 300 and 1,000 model. It was Rosenberg, Texas. They do have a 2,000-foot requirement, but pretty much every city looking to implement these types of regulations are following either using zoning alone or the distances of 300 and 1,000. I think a lot of cities are using that 1,000 now based on this new state law related to the advertisement.
Well, I'm excited too that we were able to kind of do away with the cumulative effect with the zoning, that we can relegate it only to F and G and not have to worry about if it's in an area that has one of these other designations, one of these non-residential designations, that someone could still slide one in there. So I'm glad we were able to limit it to F and G.
And to be clear, it is only for the smoke, vape, and tobacco that we would be getting rid of the cumulative zoning. It will still apply for
Understood.
all other uses.
For all of you, okay.
Understood.
Okay, just for this ordinance, okay. Yeah, and then after talking with Judge Mascot this afternoon and hearing that, there's just some questionable items being sold in these stores, and folks are, may be getting themselves inadvertently into
Big trouble.
by going into them, so, yeah.
Okay. Any other discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries. Item number 12 is open forum for mayor and council. You got anything?
I love
You're
how
my
Mayor,
go-to.
I know, I love how Mayor always looks to me, let's see what you got.
What you got?
Just a couple of quick announcements. Excited to announce that in December for Christmas, Brothers Inc. donated 65 bikes to kids, across Jacksonville. Yeah, really, really awesome. Our office donated 4 bikes, but yeah, they donated 65 bikes to kids. Some of the cutest pictures you've ever seen of kids, riding their bikes off. So that was a really great effort on their part, and they've been doing this for several years now. So
Is that a
really
local
appreciate
group,
that.
Brothers
It
Inc.?
is. Yeah, they also do dinners at Thanksgiving and help out with the backpack drive, and so yeah, it's a group of volunteers that they have just decided to get in there and try to, when they see a need, fill a need. So yeah, doing some really great work. And then just also want to announce the MLK March or Parade that will be happening next Monday, January 19th, in observance of Martin Luther King Day. So that will start at 11:30 down at the Tomato Bowl. The Jacksonville Fighting Indian Band will be in the parade. So yeah, they'll be lending their instruments and voices to that. So that's exciting. And then there'll be a program held at Sweet Union, Pastor Theroux Church, starting at about noon, once the group makes their way all the way down the street, all the way down Main Street. So yeah, everyone's welcome to come out. If you want to march in the parade, you're welcome to march in the parade. You don't have to sign up in advance or anything like that. So all are welcome. So we welcome everybody to come on out and participate. And that's all I got.
Rob, you had mentioned something about a choir. Does that have anything to do with the Sweet Union?
Yeah, I mean, Lahoma,
Yes,
Sanders, they've been doing rehearsals, and I'd asked Randy if he had been to any of the rehearsals, because he and I have tried to sing that song together before, and that's a hard one.
Well, we had to get you and Shane out there. So yeah.
Shane's thinking, where did you
Had no idea y'all were so musically inclined.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But there's a community choir that's been put together that's going to perform that day also at the program.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Take some pressure off of us on the front row.
Hey, let me just say, nobody asked me to be in it, so I can't carry a tune to save my life. So.
Anybody else have anything? All right. Mr. City Manager,
Just a
report.
Just a couple things, couple slides, I'll keep it short. A lot of positive momentum still in the parks area. Of course, we have a Parks and Rec master plan underway. We're getting toward the stage where we'll present kind of a draft of that to the community in some type of open house format. But you see some pictures here on the slide of some projects that have been completed or started within the last 6 months. We had put the shade structure of the fitness equipment at Lincoln Park. We're nearing completion, substantial completion of our grant-funded enhancements at Lake Jacksonville. We're very excited about that. The community's been so patient, and we're thankful for that. But again, grant-funded projects, there's always you always have to be patient. I've learned that. We, thanks to the Kiwanis group here in Jacksonville and a partnership with Jedco, but the Kiwanis donated $40,000 for fitness equipment at Buckner Park. Jedco did some matching. Now we have adult fitness equipment at Buckner Park. We utilized the shade canopy of an existing tree there in proximity to the playground. There's people been using it every time I go through the park. The tennis courts at Buckner Park are in the process of being resurfaced using in-house talent. And then, of course, we had the stage completed in Hazel Tilton Park. I'm not even sure that this list is comprehensive either, but we will be having a fall concert series. We had one in, a spring concert series. We had one last fall. I think it was well received. It really started to gain some traction. We went out with a bang with the David Whiteman Band. We're working to see if we can make that happen again in the spring, but we have some local artists that'll be performing out there in the spring, and we'll be getting that schedule out to the community soon. We had some traffic changes and detours last week that was related to the US 175 utility relocation project. That portion of the project, the utility relocations, the city utility relocations, that is water and sewer, that's a city project funded by our ratepayers, and we're excited to have that very, very near completion. I think there's one final tie-in that we'll be looking to make next Wednesday. Could create some traffic concerns, and we'll put out information on that if so. On the left-hand side of the screen, that's straight off TxDOT's latest update for the US 175 widening project. That is not the city project. I just know that that's top of mind for people. If you're heading west out of Jacksonville on 175, you see the changes. They're just closer and closer every time you get behind the steering wheel. But the connection point from generally CUNY or CR 3509 to FM 347 or Bolton here in Jacksonville. That's a $168 million project funded by TxDOT with an anticipated completion date of fall of 2028. So the city had to relocate its water and sewer infrastructure out of the state's right away, so as they come through with paving and bridge contractors and the like, we don't have conflicts. So we're very excited. I'm thankful for my team's leadership in getting that project pretty much buttoned up. And then lastly, and on a high note, we had a service pinning breakfast reception last week, recognized roughly 20 employees who have been here either 5, 10, 15, 20, or 25 years. We have several with us that have been over 30 years now. Sergeant Royce McCullough of the police department had the honor of handing each of these employees their service pin. He's our longest tenured employee, sitting at just over 33 years of service to the community. But what was really special about this group is it's at least one employee from every department. So the city is comprised of a lot of different departments, but we even had Jedco recognized with Sherry having her decade of service pin presented. But you have the library, of course, police and fire, administration, finance, parks. It was just a great time. So recognize them. These are the people that really get the job done for us every day, and these are the people that need to hear the praise and the kind words that the community has. So it was an honor to see them last week. And that's all I got.
Alrighty.
Hey, one last thing. I'm not gonna sing or anything, but I think our dear sweet friend Mike McEwen turned 80 on Sunday.
Yes, he did. So,
Happy birthday, Mike.
You're one of our. Well, with that, at 6:44, we will stand adjourned.
And on that note,